Project Catalyst 13 is just around the corner, and this time we've got another partner category with a lot of ADA up for grabs. And this is a great way to onboard some of the really big projects outside of Web3 into the Cardano ecosystem. So we're always thinking about adoption, what companies are building on Cardano. This is it. This is the fun challenge that everyone can vote on to be able to bring these companies in. And I have Yoram here joining me on the podcast episode. He's a fellow Cardano ambassador, and we're going to go through a couple of these projects that have submitted proposals in this particular category and could potentially get the funding they need. There's a couple of projects outside the main category as well, but that aside, Yoram, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me, and thanks for all the work you're doing. And through your YouTube, you're onboarding many people to Cardano, and I'm trying to do it through contacting companies and doing my work there. So thank you for having me.
Now, first off, your role as an ambassador, I think you're doing an amazing job here. It's like you said, completely different to what I do, but you're onboarding and talking to so many companies. You're like the networker of networkers that I know in the Cardano ecosystem. Can you just talk a little bit about what you're doing at the moment as a Cardano ambassador?
Yes, thank you. My background comes from many years on the business as an entrepreneur, and through that I met a lot of different companies and people and build trust with people. So and that's also my passion. I love to connect people and companies and find the right matches. So as an ambassador, the strategy that I kind of follow is I take what I call an ecosystem approach. So I try to use my network, see what's the needs of the company, and then bring the right companies from the Cardano ecosystem basically to connect with this need. And that's really a lot of my work is being done around that. And it's fun. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes people see proposals, Fund 13 or in other funds, and they think, okay, some company just made a proposal, but it takes sometimes 2 years to discuss with the companies, to find the right people in the company to speak with, to understand the needs of the companies. It's a long process. I'm excited from the progress, and I think there is really, really exciting opportunities for the ecosystem to grow. Great timing for us.
Yeah. And I've had a look through this slide presentation that you've got as well, which highlights a lot of the projects that are coming on board here. And these are a lot of projects that you seem to have your fingers in as well, and been talking with the various people that you need to talk to actually make this happen. So can we go through this presentation and get some of the highlights from it so that anyone that's watching can get an idea of what they could possibly vote for in this particular round?
Perfect. Yes. So as I mentioned, in this presentation, we will not cover all the projects here, but there's around 40 plus projects. Many of them are newcomers, basically, or in the process of onboarding. I will share with you some of them. It's in different categories, and we'll focus some of the main big ones in partner category. So Barcelona is back, and they presented already in Fund 12, and they got incredible amount of voters, but finally they didn't pass. And I think in this fund, basically, we stayed in close contact with them. They said it's ongoing process with these companies, and we stayed ongoing contact with them. We are evaluating different types of dApps to work with them, regardless of project. But in this project, Catalyst now, it's much more focused. And then the previous time, we took some feedback from the ecosystem. We reduced the budget also a little bit and focused really on creating a concrete solution for them with on-chain activities. This is, I think, many times when we onboard companies, it's great to partner them with companies in the ecosystem. In this case, it's Andamio and Endmaker. And I will just give a side remark here. Andamio, I'm part of the Andamio co-founder team as well. And Andamio is used many times to onboard a lot of companies also to the ecosystem, big companies, basically through the Learn to Work platform that you're offering. And the example that is being used in this specific proposal is that the Barca funds will be able to learn things and then contribute things and so that get basically come on board to Cardano. So they can learn about up to open a wallet, for example, and then they open a wallet, and then they get rewards for that. And all of that is being built on the Andamio platform. Rewards can come from Endmaker, and and still the infrastructure, and all of that is basically creating on-chain activity, from learning to working to getting rewards. So kind of an infrastructure for Barca in collaboration, obviously, with the thing that Barca wants the funds to engage and interact. Okay,
Gotcha.
so
Okay,
that's yeah.
that one's pretty cool. Like FC Barcelona, huge. So to get them on board, and I think this is kind of like a stepping stone project. Like they get them on board here and see what they can do, and then they could probably start looking at other projects in the future as well. So it's a nice starting point, I think.
Yes, and I will mention just about that. It's really a starting point, as you mentioned. You know, we build a relationship, we work with the team, we understand their needs, and then we can offer them also other ecosystem partners to partner with them based on their needs. It's really ongoing relationship.
Okay, what else you got?
Syngenta, this is a project I'm probably trying to involve to work on for 4 years already. So the reason I came to blockchain originally is to create transparency and traceability in supply chain, agriculture supply chain. So here we brought together incredible group of partners. The leading partner is Syngenta. It's one of the leading seed company in the world, working with tens of millions of farmers around the world. And they were looking for a solution how they can use blockchain technology and satellite technology in order to empower farmers in India. We are starting with a project that have 2 million farmers in India. And yeah, basically it's we are bringing on-chain a satellite oracle. So we are taking super resolution satellite technology, bringing it on-chain, and trying to empower so that farmers that have the information about their fields that then can be connected to different service providers like microfinance, microinsurance, currency of supply chain, can be connected to many companies already building on Cardano, like Delegate, Palmera Solution, PIDA Insurance, Landano for land ownership and so on. So it's really, really an exciting one, huge one, and you can see the partner that we onboarded here, obviously Anastasia Lab and Damio, and extremely excited about this.
Okay, so let me just get that right. So we're using satellite oracles. So I guess that means like with satellite imaging, you can see if the crops are growing, if they're actually there when they're ready for yield and harvest. And then I guess you can put into play DeFi and microloans, microfinancing around that. So if the field exists, then you can say that it will be harvested and you can put a loan against that. Is that the idea of where we're trying to go here?
Yes, exactly. So the satellite oracle, once you understand, so in agriculture, in small farm agriculture, there is several challenges. One of them is, first of all, to understand the land of the farmer, the size and the border, and then what's being grown on the land, and then how this can be connected to different um, services provided. For example, if we look on what Profila is doing with the land ownership, right? So we need some kind of verification for the land and the location and the size that can be connected to the land ownership certification. We look on microfinance. Imagine the challenge of microfinance institutions to provide funding to farmers, right? There's a lot of intermediates in the middle. Here we actually bring the production of the farmer directly to the micro lenders that can lend directly to farmers that have production that fits their profile. So we are going through that, or insurance, micro insurance for farmers, right? So you see the farmers, the way they work and their production can be connected to micro insurance. So, for example, here we're speaking with the World Food Program. Is they want to know before and after a disaster. So a farmer in 2 clicks in a very cheap way can show this is the farm before a disaster, this is my farm after a disaster. We connected to a smart contract with the insurance company that then pay the farmer. So huge opportunities here to create hundreds of dApps using this technology. And we are building up the infrastructure thanks to Anastasia Lab, NetMaker, and we got an incredible partner to actually try it out with a huge amount of farmers.
Wow. Okay. That one's amazing. I like that one too. All right.
Huge.
What? Okay. What else we got here? I know your list is big.
Yeah, so and each one of them is like a baby that I work for a long time. Plastic is another exciting company. It's they come from Cello. They work today on Cello. Thanks to them, actually, we got the Barcelona football clubs, thanks to the trust they have with many companies. And they want to come over to Cardano. Different reason where they want to go to a bigger, impactful ecosystem. And what they basically do, they bring plastic verification on chain, and they do it with working with many clients. One of the big clients here, as you can see, is Danone. And Danone, the reason is in Europe today, you pay plastic tax, plastic production. And if you are able to verify that you recycle this plastic, you get tax back. In the US, there's a lot of greenwashing lawsuits against plastic production, like Coca-Cola, but also like Coca-Cola and others. So they need some kind of verification that what they say is, and Plastic provide that. A really exciting company. They don't ask for much money. They want to build their platform on Cardano and bring some of their key partners like Danone and Bayer Leverkusen as part of that. So yeah, extremely exciting. I follow this company for over 2 years already and trying to onboard them to Cardano. Really like
Cool.
this one.
That one's absolutely brilliant. I do hate the greenwashing, and you're right. A lot of companies do fake their green environmental stats to try and get funding or whatever it is, and this will help with verifying that data and making sure it's all right and correct. So another really good project.
And if we look on adoption, it's very good to go to the multinationals to
Mm,
also impact or ESG, create the value with them, create a relationship, and then offer them other services. Really one of the good ways to go
brilliant.
into companies. Okay, Goodwall, our friends Goodwall,
Mm.
they know a little bit to the ecosystem. If not follow what they do, they presented at the Cardano Summit. They were selected as the challenge, um, and basically the impact challenge for the Cardano Summit. They are doing, it's a network of 3 million youth around the world in developing countries. It's kind of TikTok for the LinkedIn for the TikTok generation.
All right. Yep.
So they build skills and credentials for the new generation and open for them opportunities to work. They had a small proposal in Fund 12 where they did this out competition. So they asked the network to offer outworks that will be for the challenge for the Cardano Summit. They had only 2 weeks because of the deadline of the summit. They got 3.5 million impressions, 600 artworks were presented, and
Wow.
you
Okay.
can go in. Yeah, incredible results, incredible. And what they did a fund where I think 40% of the money go to the artists, 30% go to UNHCR refugees, and 30% go for an evergreen fund that they can keep on financing new artists. So this proposal take all this project and want to scale it over an ongoing, basically, project. We don't want to make it 3 years. They want to make it over basically ongoing work, and through that onboard a lot of people from the outwork. Even this small project that they did, they already got the interest from DeviantArt to be part of that.
Wow. That's big.
Mentioned to you ago. Yeah. And DeviantArt was one of the judges. The CEO of DeviantArt was one of the judges for the artwork, which is massive. So we are working on the next level of that, and also relationship with DeviantArt and how we slowly onboard them to Cardano. So amazing project. Again, not asking for huge budget. I think huge impact for the ecosystem. With also concrete on-chain activities, new wallets, transaction on-chain, and NFTs on-chain. Quite cool.
Yeah, that's a brilliant one. And if people haven't seen the artwork from the Cardano Summit from Goodwall, I'll put links down below as well so people can check that out. I think minting for that is closing up very soon as well. So last chance
Yeah.
there. Now, we have probably enough time for one more project.
Okay, this one will be a famous one, but maybe, I mean, this one, I guess everyone thought this one is, for many people also, it's Ardell Sheldon from Imargo that basically used the incredible announcement that was in the summit and came up with creating a layer 2 for between DeFi and Cardano. So he did most of the work. My big role there was helping him to bring the right partner to make a great partner proposal. In this case, it's a asset management fund that have a lot of Bitcoins, and they were looking for solution how they can bring this liquidity to Cardano. And exactly. And in order to basically earn some money on this Bitcoin. And so it was a great match. And you can see the partners in this proposal and Cardano ecosystem in general. It's really incredible one. The asset management one is the Tesseract, quite a big asset management fund. Work with a lot of exchanges also, and yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I know everyone's excited about Bitcoin OS and the potential of bringing Bitcoin liquidity onto the Cardano. So if you didn't like any of the other projects, please at least vote for this one because this one's definitely going to have a big impact on Cardano in general.
I mean that's the so yeah, I mean there's so many more to mention, but the time is limited.
But what I can do is, am I allowed to share the slides with everyone?
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of referencing each and every individual project, I'll reference the slides so people have to go through them to find the links. But you'll get exposure to all the other projects that are doing some really amazing things and deserve being onboarded onto Cardano. So there's a limited amount of funds though, so it's not everyone's going to get in. So the best projects here are the ones that are going to fit into this particular funding.
100%. I mean, there are great projects being offered in this fund, and it's great to see so many incredible projects. Not only one I'm onboarding, so many other people doing onboarding and doing great projects. What I try to do here is to give some visibility for these new projects, mainly the newcomers, so people can go and go through them, evaluate if it's fit the voting objective, and yeah, support the one they believe in. But there are really incredible projects in this one. And thanks also, kudos to the Catalyst team, right, that did this new category, which enabled us to bring these new partners. I mean, they are not motivated only by the funding. The funding is a small part. Most of them, the cost will be higher than the funding. Like in the case of Syngenta, for example, they are actually doing much fund. They are putting some fund from their side for their work. So not the funding, it's the ecosystem approach, collaboration.
All right. Fingers crossed that we get some of these projects onboarded and onto the Cardano ecosystem. Any one of them will bring more attention to the chain. And of course, this is just the first stepping stones for a lot of these projects. You bring in one project, they bring in another, they tell their friends, and so on and so on. So this is going to have a big snowballing effect. Project Catalyst has a massive impact on the Cardano ecosystem, especially with this brand new category. But Yoram, thank you so much for joining me on the episode and talking through this and making it really clear and easy for everyone in the Cardano ecosystem to go ahead and vote on some of these awesome projects in Fund 13.
Thank you very much for having me. Really, really appreciate that, your time and all your work.